The following is a Richey on Sports production.
The ultimate goal hovers over them every day. But LSU's first step to Omaha is 90 feet down this first base line. The anticipation is thick, and every player has a story.
This is something I always dreamed about, was, pitching in a regional, super regional, with the box.
Alec Box Stadium can now be an intimidating home field advantage for the Tigers all the way to Omaha.
It's like you've never seen before. I mean, there's a sense of urgency around the park, from the players to the fans to everybody around there.
It's a good regional. I'm excited. It's going to be great competition. Alex Box going to be packed. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's the best situation we can have. We get to play at home if we keep moving forward. So that's nice for not only for us but for the fans.
Yes, the fans, who have waited over a year to hear the glorious news that came on Monday. LSU is returning to a familiar position.
It's where we're supposed to be. Come on, let's be honest. We're LSU. We're supposed to be in the NCAA tournament. We're supposed to host regionals and super regionals. We're supposed to go to Omaha.
Welcome to this special LSU Baseball Regional Preview. From the most famous street on the planet, in the heart of the French Quarter, welcome to Turtle Bay on Bourbon, where both tourists and locals alike converge to let the good times roll. Hello everyone, I'm Eric Richey and welcome to this special LSU Baseball Regional Preview. For the next 30 minutes, we'll serve up and celebrate LSU's return to the field of 64 with features and reaction and just a straight up strong dose of LSU baseball. What a difference a year makes. Last season, none of us will ever forget the doom and dismay that was displayed by players like Mikey Matuk and Austin NOLA, even head coach Paul MAINIERI, just moments after the Tigers found out they were left out of the NCAA tournament. Well, Monday in Baton Rouge, all smiles, where not only did LSU find out that they were in the field, but they were a national seed.
7th seed nationally, it's in.
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to see our name called. Anytime you get into the NCAA tournament, it's an honor because there's so many good teams out of a 64-team field. And, we haven't even looked ahead to the Super Regional. We're just looking forward to Friday night against a good ULM baseball team.
It's been since my freshman year since I got to play a regional game, and it's even the SEC tournament. That was really exciting for me just to get back to go there. So, we're all excited. A lot of guys haven't even played a regional game before, so it's a new thing for everybody. We're going to go out there with some fire, and we're excited to see this postseason play out.
So here's your 14 field for the Baton Rouge Regional. The number 2 seed Oregon State, who won 5 of 6 against national seeds Oregon and UCLA, will square off with 3 seed Atlantic Sun winner Belmont. Then the nightcap, the top seed and number 7 seed nationally, LSU will face UL Monroe, the Sun Belt Conference winners, who Coach Paul MAINIERI says is the best number 4 seed he has ever faced in a regional at LSU. An interesting matchup, especially on the mound for the Warhawks, where lefty Randy Ziegler expected to get the start on Friday. The junior lefty led the Sun Belt Conference with innings pitched and complete games. He was second in strikeouts with 108 in 106 innings, including 9 Ks in ULM's Sun Belt Tournament Championship win Sunday over Arkansas State. Ziegler started his career at LSU.
And I'm happy for him, that he's had a good career. I have no animosity towards him at all, and I hope he doesn't have any towards us. It'll be good to see him. He's got a lot more hair. He's got a full beard and very long hair.
Now, on the mound for LSU, Coach MAINIERI made the announcement on Tuesday. It will be the freshman Aaron NOLA getting the start against the Warhawks, and Kevin Gossman will be saved for round 2. Now, Gossman is your ace. He's your Friday night starter and is a projected top 5 overall pick in the upcoming MLB draft. Gossman has been dominant all season and won his 10th game of the year last week in Hoover, striking out 7 in 7 innings of work in the SEC tournament against Ole Miss. The Colorado native was actually recruited by Oregon State, but getting a chance to start in a tournament game in the box, that's part of the reason why Gossman made the road trip and came to LSU.
Oh yeah, definitely. Last year I didn't get to experience it, but this is something I always dreamed about, was, pitching in a regional, super regional, with the box. I remember watching when I was in high school, watching Renato and them playing here, and, how crazy the fans were, and, how fun of an environment it is, and, that's something I'm really excited about seeing.
If Gossman's fastball doesn't tell the story, his numbers do. A sparkling 10-1 record to go along with the 2.84 ERA, and with 125, the fourth most strikeouts in the nation. It's time to step away for our first break. When we return, how RAPH Rhymes had them scrambling for calculators all season. And later, the inspirational story of Tigers freshman center fielder Chris Sciambra. From Turtle Bay, 615 Bourbon Street, this special LSU baseball regional preview rolls on after this. This LSU baseball regional preview is brought to you by Southern Oaks Plantation. Romance, memories, magic. MyHealthInsuranceLady.com, offering fast, free quotes with one click. And by Turtle Bay Food and Spirits. Get shell-shocked with the turtle.
At MyHealthInsuranceLady.com, we offer online quotes for Blue Cross, Humana, and Coventry, just to name a few.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
We offer you expert advice on choosing a plan that's right for you and your family.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
So go to MyHealthInsuranceLady.com for your health insurance needs.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
MyHealthInsuranceLady.com. Turtle Bay, now at two great locations, 615 Bourbon and 1119 Decatur. Get shell-shocked with our super strong concoction, the Turtle. Plenty of high-def TVs inside and in our spacious courtyard. The best Cajun Zydeco music in the French Quarter nightly, featuring WAYLON and Jimmy Thibodeaux. And don't forget about our great food with huge hand-cut ribeye steaks and fresh half-pound burgers. Get shell-shocked at Turtle Bay.
Hi, I'm Bobby Asaro. Come experience the magic at Southern Oaks Plantation.
All the guys joke with me because they know I'm a pretty modest guy. You know, my highlight will come on or something, and I'm like, oh God, here we go. And so they make fun of me about it, but it's been great.
Back here on Bourbon Street at Turtle Bay, I'm Eric Richey. Welcome back to our LSU baseball regional preview. RAPH Rhymes at the top of this segment, talking about all the attention that he's been receiving, and that was before we found out he gave up his scholarship to help out another player on the LSU roster. It was announced on Tuesday that Rhymes won the SEC Player of the Year, the first time that's happened at LSU since John Zarang won the award in 2004. Now, it was back in the second to last week of the season that Rhymes was entering that weekend, actually hitting an even and unheard of 500. And that's where we pick up the story. RAPH Rhymes has become one of the most popular players at LSU and one of the most talked about hitters in the nation. Going into the second to last weekend of the regular season, hitting 500.
I'm not a big stats guy. You know, I think it is pretty cool. You know, sometimes I have to pinch myself, you know, it is pretty neat, but I'm not going out there worrying about, you know, hitting 500 or whatever, you know, whatever it is. I'm just going out there trying to compete, trying to lead this team, you know, to Omaha.
He could be walking around here with his chest out saying, I'm batting 500, nobody's doing that. The next closest guy to me is whatever, you know. But he's not like that. I mean, you wouldn't even know that he's batting 500 by talking to Rafe. That's the best part about it.
Somebody asked me the other day, what does he have to do to hit 500? And I said, how should I know? I've never seen anybody hit 500. If I were to tell you what it takes to hit 500, I'd be fooling you because I don't know.
And Coach MAINIERI, not the only guy in need of a calculator. Rhymes is at the point now where he could go 0 for the rest of the season and still be hitting over 400. Even back when he was an even 70 for 140, he could go hitless in his next 70 at-bats and still be hitting 333. He may not be a stat guy, but even that impresses Rhymes.
Yeah, you know, it does. You know, success I've had, I never, you know, dreamed of, you know, doing anything like this.
It's hard to imagine with all the success Rafe is enjoying now that he was actually cut from this team 3 years ago. A new 35-player roster limitation was a big factor, but it's something that both Rhymes and head coach Paul MAINIERI still remember very well.
You know, I told him, I said, Rafe, I really believe you're good enough to play at LSU.
We talked for a while, and he said, you know, I don't have room for you this year. You know, I think you're a good player.
I know that you're going to have a much better chance of playing a significant role on next year's team.
You know, it was tough. Of course, it was disappointing, but, you know, I can't blame him. That team went on to win the national championship.
I recall him saying to me, Coach, I understand. I appreciate the opportunity you gave me all fall.
I definitely didn't let it get me down. You know, I knew I wanted to still play here, so I kind of used it as motivation.
So Rhymes enrolled at LSU Eunice, where he blossomed into the Junior College Player of the Year, hitting .483 with 12 homers and knocking in 98 runs. He returned to LSU last season and started all 56 games, hitting .360, good for 6th in the SEC. Now as a junior, thanks to the help of the LSU coaching staff, Rhymes has taken hitting to the next level.
When I first got here, you know, out of Eunice, I was pretty much a dead pool hitter. I don't think I knew how to hit in the SEC when I first got here. You know, they taught me how to hit. You know, you're going to have to succeed in this league. You're going to have to hit, you know, hit the ball all over the ballpark. So
as LSU sets its sights on the SEC tournament and beyond, what would hitting .500 this season mean to Rhymes?
It would be cool. It's not something, you know, that I'm going up there looking to do. You know, if I hit .500, awesome. But you know, I'm looking to win. I'm looking for this team to go to Omaha and have success.
The numbers pop off the screen. His .459 average leads the nation. His gaudy .513 on-base percentage is 4th in the country. And he leads LSU with 50 RBIs. If you're looking for that ideal place to watch all the regional action this weekend, well, how about right here at Turtle Bay? It's a great place to start. Food, drink, big screens in every direction, and the excitement of being on Bourbon Street. One-on-one with Paul MAINIERI when we return.
Hi, I'm Bobby Asaro. Come experience the magic at Southern Oaks Plantation.
Turtle Bay, now at 2 great locations, 615 Bourbon and 1119 Decatur. Get shell-shocked with our super strong concoction, the Turtle. Plenty of high-def TVs inside and in our spacious courtyard. The best Cajun Zydeco music in the French Quarter nightly, featuring WAYLON and Jimmy THIBODEAUX. And don't forget about our great food with huge hand-cut ribeye steaks and fresh half-pound burgers. Get shell-shocked at Turtle Bay.
At MyHealthInsuranceLady.com, we offer online quotes for Blue Cross, Humana, and Coventry, just to name a few.
That's my health insurance lady.
We offer you expert advice on choosing a plan that's right for you and your family.
That's my health insurance lady.
So go to MyHealthInsuranceLady.com for your health insurance needs.
That's my health insurance lady.
MyHealthInsuranceLady.com. Brock's Automotive and Tire Center is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs. Our experienced certified auto techs offer full service on all makes and models, alignment, state inspections and brake tags, and a major selection of tires. For complete state-of-the-art auto repairs, AC work, and computer diagnostics. We're right along the river in Reserve. Brock's Automotive and Tire Center with 24-hour towing service. Fatty's Bar and Grill in Garyville. On Tuesdays, it's our 12-ounce ribeye. Wednesday night and Sundays for lunch, all-you-can-eat fried fish. Thursday, try our half rack of barbecue ribs. And Friday, it's the all-you-can-eat Dungeness and snow crab served with sausage, potatoes, and corn. After you eat, head to the bar. A great place to watch the game.
It's always a good time at Fatty's, Chef.
At the end of the selection show party on Monday, LSU handed out the Skip Bertman Award to Grant DOZAR and the WALLY PONTIFF Jr. Scholar Athlete Award to 4-year starting shortstop Austin NOLA.
It's the ultimate honor. I mean, to be even in the same sentence with Wally, I mean, what a guy, what a great person and great baseball player and example for this program, and it's just an honor to receive that award. I mean, there's so many other guys on this team that could have that as well.
Eric Richey back inside Turtle Bay, and no question that NOLA has been the glue for LSU all season. Not only with his sparkling defensive play, but since he's been put in the leadoff spot, he has flourished at the plate. He went 5 for 11 in the SEC tournament. Somehow, he was left completely off the all-SEC teams. But his younger brother, Aaron, well, he was named to the all-freshman SEC team and enters this tournament leading the country in strikeouts to walk ratio with 72 strikeouts to only 6 walks. No question, it has been an unbelievable and special ride for these NOLA brothers who are playing on the same team for the first time in their lives.
I'm Austin. I'm Ed.
One may be a senior, the other a freshman. But both NOLA brothers are having a big impact on LSU's rise to the top of the college baseball polls. While Austin mans the shortstop position and continues to come up with clutch hits, little brother Aaron has become the Tigers' Sunday starter and has put up a ridiculous strikeouts to walk ratio.
I just felt very strongly that when he got here, he was going to be able to help us right away. He's throwing 3 pitches for strikes on any count, and his fastball's got some giddy up to it as well, and he throws everything over the plate. I think he's outstanding.
What's it like on Sundays when he's out there in the mound?
It's awesome, you know, really proud of him, the way he's doing, the way he's working, and, you know, hopefully continues to get better and continue to be the guy he's supposed to be, you know, hitting his spots, not trying to do too much. That's how he is.
How's it feel to have your brother at shortstop in a clutch situation?
It feels good. It feels good knowing that you have a 4-year starter behind you that usually makes most of the plays, and I'm not too worried when a ball is hit behind me. I know he's going to make the play.
This is actually the first time the NOLA brothers have been able to play on the same team together. And in the offseason, the last Major League Baseball draft, they were both selected by the Toronto Blue Jays. And although they look almost exactly alike, Coach MAINIERI says that's where the similarities end.
They're very much different. You know, Austin's a little more quiet than Aaron.
Yeah, more athletic than him. You know, him being a pitcher, he loses athleticism day by day.
Aaron's a little taller, a little bit more lankier, I think.
He's definitely taller and longer. He can throw the ball a little harder than me, so.
I'm used to all the stuff he says about that. He says it every day that pitchers aren't athletic, but I disagree.
What was it like kind of following in his footsteps when they were like, oh, isn't that you're Austin's little brother?
Yeah, I had a bunch of people say that. They always said, yeah, it's going to be hard to follow in his footsteps. But, you know, I just had to pass that by.
No, I'm just trying to make him better. You know what a big brother tries to do. He tries to make his little brother better, try to learn before the mistakes happen, right?
What's one thing about Big Brother that's not in the media guide that you can tell us?
Oh, gosh.
Take it easy.
I can count on my hands and my toes.
I hit him in the head with a bat one time on the backswing. I was 11. I was swinging off a tee, and on the backswing, he must have stepped right there and hit him right in the head, and he still got the scar today on his head.
It's right here.
I ran away. My dad come grab. He said, "We got to go to the hospital now."
Oh, I was crying. I was crying my eyes out. My dad was mad at him for the most part, but I got like 14 stitches.
I didn't mean to do it, but you know what?
I wish the NOLAs had 2 more children. I'd offer them scholarships sight unseen.
Here with Coach MAINIERI, a national seed. I know some sleepless nights. That's history. Now it's time to get ready for an interesting tournament.
Yes, Eric. Well, the national seed does not help you. Hosting a super regional does not help you unless you first win the regional. So I'm glad this national seed business is out of the way, the super regional hosting business is out of the way, so now we can just focus on this first tournament. And it's going to be a challenging tournament.
It's all about optimism right now, plenty of smiles during the selection show, but obviously coming off an SEC tournament that you would have rather have played a little bit farther in. How do you turn that switch around and kind of put the SEC tournament behind you, Coach?
Well, Eric, let me say this, okay? I thought our kids played great in Hoover. They really did. You know, the first day we played Mississippi State, we ran up against the SEC Pitcher of the Year, a guy that got the award over Gosman, so you can imagine how good he is. I thought our kids really battled him hard. We tied the game at 2. We gave up a scratch run late in the game, and we ended up losing a 3-2 ball game. The next day against Ole Miss, we played phenomenal. You know, we had an outstanding offensive game, defensive game. We pitched well. We played about as well as we could play. And then the final game against Mississippi State, we got a 3-0 lead in the 8th inning. They get a scratch run in the 8th, and then we take a 3-1 lead in the 9th inning. And if we just close out the game like we typically have done this year, we would have continued to play.
I remember on media day, the one thing you said when you looked back, you just brought it up again today, about those one-run losses and how the bullpen was really was what shot this team in the foot last year. And the way Nick has been performing in the bullpen all season has been lights out until just recently. And is that a concern going forward?
Well, certainly it's a little bit of a concern. You know, you want your players, your pitchers to be performing at their best as you enter into postseason. And Nick's had a little bit of a struggle lately. So, yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about it. But I still have confidence in him. I still think he's our best option. I may be a little bit less apt to pull Chris Cotton and just give the ball to Goody to start the 9th inning. We'll see what the matchups are as the game progresses. But there's no doubt for us to win this tournament this weekend, Nick Goody's going to have to be at his best, and he's going to have to save a game or two.
Good luck. We wish you the best.
All right, thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
It's time for us to take another break here from Turtle Bay on Bourbon. When we return, the amazing story of Chris Sciambra. But first, as we go to break, here's just one of the bands that you'll hear on a nightly basis here at Turtle Bay. It's the WAYLON THIBODEAUX Band. There's a featured group here. Check them out.
At MyHealthInsuranceLady.com, we offer online quotes for Blue Cross, Humana, and Coventry, just to name a few.
That's my health insurance lady.
We offer you expert advice on choosing a plan that's right for you and your family.
That's my health insurance lady.
So go to MyHealthInsuranceLady.com for your health insurance needs.
That's my health insurance lady.
MyHealthInsuranceLady.com.
Hi, I'm Bobby Asaro. Come experience the magic at Southern Oaks Plantation.
This team is kind of special, you know. No, other than Kevin Gosman, no superstars, and I think Paul's done a great job.
The legendary Skip Burtman brings us back from break on this special LSU baseball regional preview. LSU center fielder Chris Sciambra actually witnessed one of Burtman's 5 national championships in person. Sciambra was 7 years old. LSU was losing the title game to Stanford, and Sciambra put his head down and told his dad he's not going to even watch the rest of the game until Skip took Brian Tallett out of the game. Well, LSU went on to win that game, and 12 years later, Sciambra went on to become LSU's starting center fielder. Although his name won't be in the lineup card this weekend, don't think for a second that Chris Sciambra still is not playing a vital role in the success for LSU baseball. Behind the Bayou Bengals is brought to you by Southern Oaks Plantation. In one horrific crash into the fence at Auburn, a promising freshman season for Chris Sciambra was over. But fortunately, his career was not.
It was real windy that day, so it was tough to read the balls out there, so that was part of it. I jumped after the ball and hit the wall, and next thing I know, the trainer was out there.
When I saw he wasn't getting up, obviously I was very concerned. But the first thing that crossed my mind was he probably hit his head and maybe had a concussion.
Chris's father, Jay, was partly right. Chris did have a concussion, but soon afterwards, x-rays also revealed 2 broken bones in his C2 vertebrae. It was Jay who broke the news to Chris.
It was disappointing, but in the emergency room while he was on the table, I had told him that, quite honestly, no matter what happened from here on out, he so far exceeded my expectations of the freshman year.
Once I realized that, I was looking forward. I wasn't looking backwards anymore. I was trying to see what I could do to get better and to be a part of the team this year.
And that's exactly what Chris has done, remaining an inspirational part of the team since his injury.
It means a lot to see him come out there and support us and continue to be the teammate that he always was. I'm sure it's helped him, but it's helped us see a lot as individuals and as players on the team, is that you get a guy whose season's ended, you know, he played a vital role and he's still coming out.
Now that he's you know, out here messing around, and he's not moping around. He's smiling, he's happy. I mean, like, he knows. I mean, you know, he knows how serious this injury could have been, how serious it is now, but the fact that he's going to be back next year playing baseball is the miraculous part about it.
Even with the neck brace, Chris still remains very close to the LSU baseball team. He still attends every home game. He also goes to every practice. But what you might not know is late in the season, Chris and his father took a road trip to see an LSU away series. 6 hours away to Ole Miss, 12 hours round trip.
But if you know Chris Sciambra like I do, you wouldn't be surprised that he's always around, because this kid cares about the right things. He cares deeply about his teammates, about his team, about his coaches, about his school. It's been a lifetime ambition of his to come to LSU. He's not going to let a little thing like a broken neck stop him from hanging around, you know, come on.
And it's not just his teammates that Chris has inspired. Last month, he had a chance to brighten up the situation for Gabe Steed, a Baton Rouge second grader who also suffered a broken vertebrae in a playground accident.
Once I heard about him, I wanted to just do anything that I could to help him out and make him feel like he would get through it and that it wasn't a big of a deal. So I think he enjoyed it, had a good time, and I had a good time too. I know everyone else thought it was pretty funny watching us next to each other with 2 neck braces on.
He hopes to get the neck brace off in early July to begin rehab, and gives all SEC fans a message on his status during this week's tournament.
Well, I'd just like everyone to know that I'm doing really well, and that, as one coach from Georgia said to me, we're all competing against each other in the ball games and the conference, but when it comes down to it, we're really rooting for each other.
Hi, I'm Bobby Asaro. Come experience the magic at Southern Oaks Plantation.
Brock's Automotive and Tire Center is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs. Our experienced certified auto techs offer full service on all makes and models, alignment, state inspections and brake tags, and a major selection of tires. For complete state-of-the-art auto repairs, AC work, and computer diagnostics, we're right along the river in Reserve. Brock's Automotive and Tire Center with 24-hour towing service. One more good reason to go to Turtle Bay, they have all the major sports packages, including UFC fights on HD TVs in every direction. This LSU Baseball Regional Preview has been brought to you by Southern Oaks Plantation. Romance, memories, magic. MyHealthInsuranceLady.com, offering fast, free quotes with one click. And by Turtle Bay Food and Spirits. Get shell-shocked with the Turtle. Winners of the SEC title for a 15th time and hosting a regional in Baton Rouge for the 20th time in school history, that's all great, but LSU's ultimate goal, obviously, is to return to Omaha. A long road ahead, though, starting on Friday with the 7 p.m. first-round matchup with UL Monroe. Anything but a gimme, that's for sure. The winner will face the winner of the Oregon State Belmont game on Saturday. Now, as a national seed, LSU will host the winner of Miami's Coral Gables Regional in the Super Regionals if the Tigers can take care of business this weekend at the Box. That will do it for now. I'm Eric Richey from Turtle Bay on Bourbon. Thank you so much for watching this special LSU Baseball Regional Preview.